In the early 1800s, Europe was engulfed in war. Nations clashed, borders shifted, and countless lives were caught in the turmoil. But amidst the chaos, there was a story rarely told. A story of courage, sacrifice, and the power of one ordinary individual. This is the story of Thomas Blake, a young man of just 19, from a small, quiet village. He had no wealth, no titles, and no ambition for fame. His life was simple: helping his family in the fields, tending animals, and dreaming of something beyond the horizon. But fate had a different plan for him. Was sent deep into enemy territory. Supplies were dwindling. The men were exhausted, morale was low, and the generals faced a nightmare. Key information about enemy positions was missing, and without it, the army would face certain defeat. Thomas overheard the generals arguing late one night. "No one can get through those lines alive," one officer said, despair in his voice. But Thomas, though small in stature, had a fire burning inside him. He whispered to himself, "I can do it. I must." That night, while the camp slept under the freezing sky, Thomas slipped away. Darkness was his ally. The forest loomed like a giant, with shadows that seemed to move, and the cold biting through his thin uniform. He crawled through mud, leapt over fallen trees, and narrowly avoided enemy patrols. At one point, he hid beneath a frozen stream, barely breathing as soldiers passed mere inches away. Hours stretched into an eternity. Hunger clawed at him. Frostbitten fingers ached with every movement. Yet every thought of his comrades, the young boys he trained with, the soldiers who depended on him, fueled his resolve. He could not fail. Finally, after what felt like a lifetime, Thomas reached the Allied camp. He ran straight to the commander, panting, delivering the intelligence that could save thousands of lives. Thanks to him, the generals devised a plan that turned a looming disaster into a decisive victory. The battle raged, but the army survived. Thousands of lives were saved, and all because of one ordinary boy who chose to act when courage was needed most. Yet, history did not remember him. Thomas Blake returned to his village quietly, tending to his family, living a life of simplicity. No medals, no parades, no fame. Only a small, weathered plaque in the village square tells of his deeds. Here lived a boy who changed the course of history. History often celebrates kings, generals, and leaders. But sometimes it is the courage of one ordinary person, willing to step into the unknown, that shapes the destiny of nations. Thomas Blake's story reminds us that heroism is not always loud. It doesn't always make headlines. Sometimes it is quiet, unnoticed, yet powerful enough to change the world. So the next time you doubt your own courage, remember Thomas Blake, the boy who dared to face the impossible, and in doing so became immortal in the story of history. Because sometimes the smallest acts of bravery leave the largest mark on the world.